Hello everyone and welcome to another game you guys requested as soon as it finished. It's from round 5 of the Oslo Esports Cup. It's Magnus Carlsen versus Jorden van Foreest, well, it's definitely a big duel since Jorden is one of his seconds from the World Chess Championship match against Jani Pomnishi, and he knows what Carlsen knows very, very well, but also to some degree vice versa. So we'll see who wins the preparation duel, but even after that it's gonna get very crazy. So let's dive straight into it. There is quite a lot to enjoy. Magnus opens with c4. He goes for the English opening. We have e5 by Jorden, the sort of King's English variation. e3, we have knight to f6, knight to c3, and now d5. Striking in the center, c captures, knight captures, and now Magnus plays queen to h5. The move from the thumbnail, and although it seems like a very weird move to play, Magnus actually played it 2 years ago against Nakamura in the St. Louis Blitz tournament, and also there is another gentleman who played it, Daniil d.o.o. So it's a known move, and if you are facing the English, you have to be ready for it. So here we have knight to c6, continuing development, and now bishop to b5, pinning the knight, and now we are ready to play queen captures on e5, and here in the game that I mentioned, d.o.o versus Elisev, d.o.o played queen to d6 to defend the e5 pawn, but here we have knight to b4, going after that c2 square to deliver check, also defending this knight, and we now transpose into the game Magnus Carlsen versus Hikaru Nakamura from the St. Louis Blitz tournament 2020. Queen captures on e5 with check, as the knight of course is pinned, bishop to e6, and now queen to a4. Here we have a6 challenging the bishop, bishop back to e2, and now comes queen to d7. Here Nakamura played bishop to e7, but it still was not his game. Magnus was able to win this one, but here we have queen to d7 by Jorden, and it is now as of move 9 that we have a completely new game. So let's see how Magnus tackles this new territory. He plays a3. Now the queen guards the c2 square, so that's not an issue. f5 before moving the knight. You could go to d5, but f5 is to be preferred. Queen back to b1. We still have to keep an eye on the c2 square. Knight to d5, and now knight to f3. Magnus continues development. We have queenside castles, and now b4. Magnus starts his expansion, and he wants to put a bishop on b2. Try creating some attacking chances by pushing the pawns later on. So here g5, as Carlsen's king is still in the center of the board, most likely he will castle kingside, so it makes sense to prepare our pawns for pushing. And capturing on g5 isn't all that impressive. We're just gonna play captures on c3, d captures, and bishop to c4, and already you can see how it's very, very difficult for white to even castle. You can't castle because the bishop hangs, and if you capture the bishop, then queen d1 will be checkmate. So not something you want to go into. So after g5, we have castles by Magnus. He realized that the danger is lurking everywhere, and now g4 by Jorden. We have knight to g5 attacking the bishop, and bishop back to g8. We have bishop to b2 by Magnus. Now if the knight moves, it could be very scary, so bishop to g7. We have to counter white's stronger bishop on b2, and now knight to a4, offering a trade of bishops, but now instead of trading, we have knight to f4 by Jorden, and here the position completely explodes. What is happening here, and how can white continue the game? Is the knight up for grabs? That's a good question. Now bishop captures on g4, believe it or not, is the absolute strongest move recommended by the engine, but we are not going to discuss this one, as it's such a disgusting engine line is too much even for me to show in a rapid game. So here e captures on f4 was played by Magnus, and now we have bishop captures on b2, and now it all depends what Magnus plays. So feel free to pause the video here and try to figure out the winning move for Magnus while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on spotting this crazy idea. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it is knight to c5. that's the good stuff. We attack the queen, and also we add another attacker to black's queen side, and this will be, well, this will be incredibly difficult to stop. So here, Jorden played queen captures on d2, and now comes the move that Magnus had to play in order to continue, because knight to c5 is the correct way, but now you have to play bishop captures on a6. And we are going to show this one. The idea is that after bishop captures on a6, now you're just threatening to pick up on b7 as well. So b captures, and only now queen captures on f5 with check, king b8, knight captures on a6, and now it doesn't really matter where the king goes to. You can't go here. If you go here, then queen to b5 is deadly. If you go here, then we're just gonna continue checking. Queen c5 check, king captures, queen captures, and after, let's say, king a7, now we play queen a4 check, gaining control over the d1 square. So now both rooks and the queen control the d1 square, and after the king moves wherever, rook a to d1 just wins the game on the spot. After the queen moves, of course, we gobble up the rook, or you give up the queen, but it will be insufficient. For example, queen captures, rook captures, let's say rook captures, queen captures. This is not nearly enough material to play this. So instead, after queen captures on d2, Magnus doesn't play the absolute best bishop captures on a6. He plays rook to a2 because he says, all right, this is, of course, very interesting, most likely winning, but why not just, improve my position first? But he completely blunders that the bishop on b8 is actually, on g8 is actually guarding the a2 square. So Jorden just picks up the rook, bishop captures on a2, and now Magnus goes for queen captures on f5. It looks very scary, but it is now not enough. King b8, bishop captures on a6. Magnus plays it now, but now knight to d4, attacking the queen. Queen captures on g4, now b captures on a6. Knight captures on a6 with check, king to a7, and even knight captures on c7. And now, after Jorden played queen to e2, it was in this position on move 25 that Magnus Carlsen resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. Now, you might be thinking, well, okay, the black king is completely, he's completely in the open here. There are no pawns in front of it. There basically aren't all that many pieces in front of it. Couldn't we use maybe our pawns, the knight, the queen, to somehow put pressure on the black king instead of just resigning here? You could, if this was not winning by force. Now the problem is the queen has no good squares. For example, if you play queen to g3, it's just a very sad move, or just a very sad square for the queen. Well, we can even just play queen captures on f1, and after king captures on f1, bishop to c4 check. And now you can see if you go back to g1, knight to e2 is just deadly, so you're gonna have to play queen to d3. But now, of course, if we play queen to d3, you know that that's game over. But here you don't just win the queen, you actually deliver checkmate with rook to d1. So queen g3 doesn't work because of this checkmate, and queen to h4 doesn't work again because of this checkmate. Here we're still gonna play queen captures on f1, and there is nothing you can do here. King captures on f1, bishop to c4 check, king to g1 now just runs into knight to e2 check, king to f1, and the rook to d1 will be checkmate. So that's a problem for Magnus. And of course, he saw this and he didn't want to allow Jorden this opportunity to finish the game in a brilliancy, because he blundered, and he feels that that is maybe enough for Jorden to grab a full point here. So yeah, after this queen to e2, Magnus resigned, and a wonderful victory for Jorden van Foreest with the black pieces in round 2 of the Oslo Esports Cup. And yeah, I mean, it happens to everyone. Here it happened to Magnus. It's just incredible. I mean, you prepare everything, you do everything right. You play knight c5, you have to continue playing brilliant chess, and then you play rook to a2. And yes, everyone thinks this only happens to you, but here you can see it can also happen to a world chess champion. So just putting your rook in front of a bishop, that's it. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Very crazy lines in this one. Thank you for suggesting it. So very quickly, I would like to thank DK Benjamin, Mark Galassi, Fred Ackerman, Joseph Virasuria, and Robert Aratun for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions such as this one, and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.